Good luck and high five, friends. Today I'm having a look at a game that absolutely lit up most people's best of lists for 2018, Chronicles of Crime from Lucky Duck Games. David Cicerel's title has players cooperatively taking turns playing out their own Sherlock Holmes fantasies. You'll need a smart device for this title as the game interacts entirely with QR codes. Will that end up being this game's Reichenbach, or will it be a study in Scarlet? Let's open it up and find out. Inside the box is the game's thin rulebook, really only introducing you to the concept of scanning QR codes with your device's camera. It also gives you a quick tour of the game's pieces, which I'll also do right now. The board is perfectly adequate, allowing plenty of room for finding new locations and adding in clue cards. Inside the box is a protective shield to keep the game's cards from flying around, and built-in room for the first two expansions, Noir and Welcome to Redview. The first is just what it sounds like, a more hard-boiled, grittier case file, and the second is a Hardy Boys Scooby-Doo type kids feel, featuring a younger, though not necessarily more juvenile cast. The specialists and locations are bound with a rubber band and reveal the game's VR goggle storage behind them. There's room here also for dice and tokens for Redview. We'll update you on what those are about when we get them in the future. Let's set up a game and I'll show you how this all plays out. Since we're in England here, Scotland Yard will always be your base of operations and takes up the space at the bottom of the board. Depending on the case you're trying to solve, and I'm using the intro case here to avoid too many spoilers, you'll add a number of locations around the outside, and each location has room for 3 persons of interest. You'll know when you're missing something because a location won't be full yet and you'll need to fill it up with the attached people cards. The goal of the game is to solve the murder. Obviously. The inspector will familiarize you with the victim, and depending on the case, you'll either have to go to the scene of the crime to gather clues or follow a lead right away. Once you're off on the case, it's up to you to decide where to go next and how often. Each action has a time associated with it though, so watch the clock. The longer you take to solve a crime, the less chance you have of getting all the information you need. There's also a time bonus if you solve the crime quickly, though this feels like a trap. You'll want to take your time with this game. The cases are each so lovingly written, beautifully laid out pieces of work that you'll want to really take the time to savor your work through them. One of the cases our group solved within just a couple minutes, but by investigating further, we were able to find a whole subplot that we wouldn't have if we jumped the gun. Some cases will actually tie into others. You'll find yourself nipping around the edges of a shadowy organization as you peer deeper into seemingly unrelated crimes, and the layers are absolutely delicious, much like a cake. Overall, Lucky Duck has done a phenomenal job with the cases they've delivered, with easy and hard cases to solve. 5 cases and this tutorial come with the base game, and as of today, there are 2 more to buy and 1 free with the VR goggles. This model can feel to some like having to buy the game once you've bought the game, but you'll get enough value out of the 5 standard issue cases for the retail price. $5 per case after that can feel steep, but when you consider that's $1 or $2 per person per hour of entertainment, there's not much else that delivers this level of fun for that price. Lucky Duck also recently delivered the ability to make your own cases to the community, keeping in mind that these will likely not have been fully tested, so there's no guarantee as to quality. Stay tuned for more on those as Lucky Duck explains just how they'll work. Chronicles does an amazing job of leaving the crime solving almost entirely up to the player, with very little guidance from the game itself. This, as always, depending on your group, could be a runaway smash hit, or you could end up thinking you have the crime solved very early using your own intuition, but end up with a very low score because you didn't fully investigate what the game wanted you to. Let's have a look at the checklist. In the box. Rulebook clear and non-gender pronouns. The rulebook is nicely thin and uses the second person you throughout. I appreciate a rulebook that only does its job, and this one succeeds there. Iconography clear. Yes, the art is way above the bar here, and since everything depends on QR codes, the actual cards need to stand out, and they do. Packaging well done. Everything fits wonderfully back into the box with a game tray and room for expansions even. This gets a solid pass from me. On the table, good representation. Overall, the cards do a great job of representing both masculine and feminine characters with a wide variety of ages and looks. You won't get cards confused unless you play multiple cases back to back to back and run into characters being reused. A great pass for me. Component quality. Everything feels very good, and the additional plastic fold-up VR goggles would be a must-buy even if they didn't come with a free case. A note here, your Samsung Gear VR and Google Daydream headsets won't work with the app for some reason. Replay value. There's plenty of cases to solve and rumors of a community tool to make more. Once you've finished a case, though, you likely won't want to come back to it. The fun of the game is making sure you've deduced everything, and the endgame screen tells you what you missed, making replay a non-starter. Fun to lose. Not really. That game being said, you don't really lose, as you just don't score as highly as you could have. It's a bummer to spend about an hour on each case only to find out that you missed something and now it's too late to go back for it. While the replay value is a bummer, overall my group really enjoyed their time here. This is a game that's going to completely depend on your fellow investigators, so make sure your group is in for tracking down subtle clues and you'll have an amazing time with this title. As always, I'm Nicholas, reminding you to help protect the game population. Always leave your cards. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed that video, please hit that sub button and check out all of our other offerings at goodluck5.com. And please consider becoming a patron of the channel at patreon.com/GLHFmagic and help us keep making reviews, videos, and podcasts for as little as $5 a month. We're also always looking for new games to review, so if you make games or you know a company who does and wants to have their game reviewed on Good Luck High 5, please reach out to us at glhf@goodluck5.com and we'd be happy to take a look. You can follow me, Captain N the Game Master, on Twitter and Instagram at CaptainNGM, and follow the channel at GLHF Magic. Remember, please shop at your local game store whenever possible. Until next time, I'm Nicholas, and good luck, high five.